Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray as hard as you can for me. I really need it, and I find my prayers do get answered when I pray with enough energy about it. So, for example, I was in Kerrville, Texas to go see a solar eclipse. It was really cloudy, and I led everybody into a prayer to the God of dislikes. I'll never forget the sound of the entire crowd going, "The Peter Dislike Show," and it really did feel like a mass. And the clouds disappeared for just a brief moment, and that was good. Um, I had been up several nights in a row one time making art, and I was having a really bad time. I had melted and remelted the same batch of bismuth dozens of times, no success. And I figured out what had happened. I wasn't melting it long enough to get the bismuth above the melting point of bismuth. So I think it was a 6-inch pot. I melted about 15 or so pounds of bismuth. And as it was melting, I took an important phone call and I was kind of distracted. And by the time I got back to the pot, it finally got to the temperature it needed to be. I didn't realize that at the time. I turned off the hot plate, skimmed off the slag, and then a few minutes later, took another pot to catch the remaining liquid bismuth. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had a large geode. It weighed about 6, 7 pounds, and I still have it. I nicknamed it the dirty bomb for executing Putin, and so I still have it. Actually, it's really funny. At the last art show, the some guy asked me about it, and he was a little bit shocked by the price. And had he had bought it then, he could have melted it today and still be up money, right? But he was shocked by the price. And then I explained how it could be used as a dirty bomb for Putin, and he thought that was kind of funny. But I still have the Putin dirty bomb. But these last few days have been a complete disaster for me. I have not been eating or sleeping right. I am just mentally drained from all of the networking that I've been doing in the last few days. First on Friday, I had gone to the school carnival, and one of my former students came with me, and I couldn't believe she would come with me to such a thing. And but she was 45 minutes late, and so I thought she was messing with me, and so I wasn't feeling right when she came, and it kind of ruined the mood for the whole night. And then Saturday, I went to see a distant cousin of Eve Curry, but when I drove her home, I picked her up from her work, and I was going to drop her at her home, but as I got close to the door, she was like, "Oh no, my mom was kind of sensitive about the condition of the house. Maybe another time." And I was confused. I didn't know if that was a sign of rejection. I got home myself, and we still continued to chat. So, and earlier today, in fact, she said that her mom would like to meet me when she's in better energy, or something to that effect. And so, and it's just mental up and down and up and down, and then there were a couple of board game events where I tried to make a move on a few people, and just the mental ups and downs of that have been weighing on me. And I'm still chatting with a girl that I met in Taiwan, but we're running out of steam. I really should go see her at some point. I can't. I have a lot of commitments here in the Phoenix area. Hopefully, we'll get our summer schedule soon, and community college has 2 summer sections. Maybe I'll take off for one of them. I don't know. But I love all the students. I love the work here. I hate to do that. Um, and then there's uh, the idea that I want to pivot my career over to Taiwan at some point. I do want to get out of the Phoenix area. It's hot in the summertime. I In an ideal world, I could just live here during the winter times and somewhere else during the summer times. I can't seem to find a career solution that would allow for that, though, right? Um, but I probably do want to move out of here. The tricky thing, and here's the other tricky thing, it is so hard to move from one city to another if you don't have the right connections. Because let's say I look at a job in Wallace, Idaho, they're going to wonder, you're in Phoenix, where are you looking for work? Especially if it's Wallace, Idaho, right? Who wants to move to Wallace except for me? Or if it were Seattle or Salt Lake City, maybe that might be a different story, right? But if I move to Wallace, now I'm unemployed, and how do I look for work then, right? I don't seem to have a solution to this problem. That's why I always joke that I'm not moving to Wallace, Idaho. I'm immigrating to Wallace, Idaho, because it feels like a process, getting all of the ducks in order, and dotting your I's and crossing your T's. It feels like an immigration process rather than moving, right? And I don't. There has to be a better way to do this. I mean, after all, people move for silly reasons. Why does moving have to entail? Oh, I want to be with my family, or I just fucking love Wallace, Idaho. Is that not a good reason? I can't get people to understand that. That one of my colleagues told me that I have to present it like the move is already a done deal. I'm moving on August 3rd or whatever the situation, like it's a done deal, whether I take the job or not. But then if I don't get the job and then they see that I haven't moved, it might be hard to apply again, right? That's also tricky in its own right, right? All right, please pray for me. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.